Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
It's time for Tip-Off Tuesday.
There's no magic formula.
Eric Williams, three, good at the shot clock buzzer. Young all the way to the basket with two hands.
We're going to have to get ready for everything.
Ducks get it to Richardson. His three is good.
And one of the things that I'm really proud of is next game attitude.
Sedona Prince follows, scores, and is fouled. Perry steps into a long three and hits it. Softly lay it in. Ducks take the lead.
Down the stretch, we made the plays, and that's what a good team's got to do.
This is Tip-Off Tuesday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield. Let's talk Oregon Ducks basketball. From the Country Financial Studio, alongside Terry Jonz, here's Joey Mack.
Thank you. It's a busy week for Oregon men's and women's basketball. We thought we would be recapping a Saturday game for Oregon men's basketball. Instead, 48 hours later, they got the chance to play up in Corvallis and got a 2-point win last night. Great to see that, and I'm glad that they were able to get that game in, because now it's a big road trip for the men to Los Angeles, taking on two of the best teams in the country in UCLA and USC on Thursday and Saturday. Meanwhile, for the women, the schedule unfortunately got a little lighter this week.
Yeah, Arizona State, no game on Thursday because Arizona State in COVID protocols, but Arizona coming to town, number 7 ranked now after getting their first loss at USC over the weekend, and a makeup game that they went to USC on Sunday. That's 2:30, and then 2 o'clock, it's Big Monday. It's UConn, the Huskies, and the rematch. Both teams a little beat up. Oregon now getting a little bit healthier, but UConn still with Paige Beckers will be out. But that's going to be a big one. I hope it's rocking at MKA.
Finish off your 3-day weekend with a smashing
Martin Luther
game.
King Jr. holiday, right? So some people have it off, right?
We will not be doing a Duck Insider that day because I'll be at the arena watching the game. So it's going to be awesome. Yeah, and for the men, I mean, you talk about just the top-ranked teams. For the women, for the men, it's number 3 UCLA, number 5 USC. Pair of top 5 teams with the latest AP Top 25 coming out. So this is a big week for Oregon men's and women's basketball, and I think, Terry, for both of these teams, we're going to learn a lot about the postseason resume here already in mid-January.
Yeah, and for the Oregon women, they will have played, assuming all these games get played, we hope so. They will have played all 4 Final Four teams from a year ago. Wow. They played South Carolina and the Bahamas. They just played Stanford. You're going to play them again. And Arizona twice, and then UConn. I don't know if anybody has that on their schedule. So nobody can complain about the Ducks' schedule. No. But certainly like the way they looked against California. If they play that way, they're going to get their share, more than their share.
Yeah, that's coming up for the women with that rare Saturday game at 2:30 on Saturday at Matthew Knight Arena. 6:30 on Thursday, Oregon men against UCLA. I understand that Bill Walton's going to be in the house. 6:30 tip for Oregon UCLA. It's also televised on ESPN, and then it's the late game on Fox Sports 1, 8 o'clock on Saturday for the men against USC. Women 2:30 against Arizona on Pac-12 Network, and of course, pregame for all of this begins with either one of us half an hour beforehand here on the Oregon Sports Network. Today, I got the chance to catch up with Kevin McKenna. It was a long conversation that I had with the Oregon men's basketball assistant coach, and well, some good things to take away from a 2-point win up in Corvallis. Always good to beat the Beavs. And meanwhile, on the women's side, some great conversations upcoming.
Yeah, the big guy, KG, coming up next, and he's always fun. You'll find out. Just stay tuned. And Kylie Watson, I didn't get a chance. I try to get all the new freshmen, the new players every year as much as I can. Let you get to know them and what kind of people, what they come from, their family, all of that stuff. And I didn't get a chance to get her last year, and got her on this year. And she's playing well. She plays hard. So looking forward to that. Let you get to know her from Linwood, New Jersey.
Linwood, New Jersey. Kelly Graves, Kylee Watson, Kevin McKenna. It's Tip-Off Tuesday. He's Terry Jonz. I'm Joey Mack. Quick timeout, and then going to hear from the big guy.
Yes.
After this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With 15 convenient locations across Portland, contact Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists today at proactivepts.com to see a physical therapist. Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists, a proud partner of Oregon Athletics and trusted choice for keeping Duck fans in the game.
You're listening to Tip Off Tuesday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s, like go back to college, learn to skateboard. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. At aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a free 3-minute chat with the friendly digital retirement coach, Avo, and receive personalized tips to help boost your savings. Start chatting with Avo today at aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's Tip Off Tuesday. Terry Jonz and Joey Mack. We're going to talk women's basketball first, as we're going to hear from Kelly Graves. Our chat with the big guy brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Here's KG. All right, Coach. You were a little happier coming back from the Bay Area yesterday. We're recording here on Monday, but a good finish to the weekend down in the Bay Area, wasn't it?
Certainly was. Yeah, we played a lot more like we were capable of playing yesterday. It was a fun game. Everybody got in. Everybody got to contribute. We shot it really well, defended well. We really played a really good, solid game. You know, and actually I don't feel discouraged after the Stanford game, too. I mean, I know we didn't win the game, and we're not into moral victories here, but I thought we competed, and for the first time out with really the whole team, even though Sedona was out, I thought we did some good things there. So it was a good weekend. I feel a lot better right now than I did last week when we talked.
Yeah, maybe it would have been nice to play Cal first and then have the kind of the rust off a little bit to play Stanford, but it didn't work out that way. But back to the Stanford game, like you said, you did learn a lot. I mean, I think Tahina was able to get some rust off and figure out what she needed to do a little bit better. Certainly, and that showed up against Cal. But Stanford played well. I mean, Lexi Hall, she went off, and that happens. But this team, I think, grew from that game.
I think so too. I didn't know what to expect really, because obviously Stanford's a great team, and and we were, like we've talked about, we're in mid-November mode really with our development, and and it was ugly. We actually got a good start, and then they just kind of adjusted and built a nice lead, but the fight we showed. Late in that game to cut an 18-point lead to 7. I think we had on 2 different occasions the ball in that case and got relatively good shots to cut it to maybe a 2-possession game. And, then they get a little tight. You never know what happens, but it just seemed like they always had the answer. And Lexi Hull had just one of those great games, that granted a few of those threes were wide open, but, hey, NBA players shoot less than 50% corner threes wide open. So she just made them. And I noticed yesterday they were like 7 of 28 from the three-point line. So it was one of those games, and I think we could have won it. But, going out of that, I go, yay, there was more to celebrate, more to be encouraged by than discouraged.
And then the Ducks, Lexi Hall went off yesterday, and Sydney Parrish. Hall goes 7 of 10. Sid goes 7 of 9 for threes.
Yeah. That and isn't it funny how 2 days can make a difference? So at Stanford we go We have 4 assists. I think it's got to be an all-time low, certainly in my career and in my tenure. 4 assists. I don't think we had any in the first half. And then, we talk about it. We work on it in the middle day. And then against Cal, we get 21 assists, I think. We move the ball. That made the difference. That allowed Sydney to get those shots. And I think two players deserve a lot of credit. I think, number one, Tehina. I thought Tehina against Stanford was really looking, not in a selfish way. She's trying to get herself back in. So she took some shots that she could have maybe made an extra pass out of, to a shooter. And then same with Niara. There were times when Niara was double and triple teamed inside, and she could have kicked it out. And she did yesterday and got 5 assists for it. Tehina had 4 assists. So they learned. And just shows that they're coachable kids. And I told the team, and I told Niara specifically, I said, Niara, you're getting triple teamed. That's what teams think of you, right? So let's use that to our advantage. Kick it out to open people, and she did. And it was an entirely different team, I thought, yesterday than Friday.
Yeah, your triple team, that means 2 of your teammates are open somewhere. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And she was smart enough to get it to him and find him.
Yeah, 5 assists for Niara yesterday. No Sedona, and wish Sedona the best. Hopefully you'll get her back here later in the week. But you went back to the small ball kind of thing, by forced to, and it worked pretty well.
It did, yeah. We were still under some restrictions with Niara in terms of her minutes. She still can't go with the full go. And so instead of going with the double bigs, we kind of platooned those two a little bit, went small, went with Sydney there at the 4. And it really worked. I thought we got good starts in both games. And, and then when you're scoring 3 at a time, what did we make, 12 threes yesterday? Something like that?
14.
Well, even better.
Yeah, season
even
high.
Better. It paid off, I think, this weekend.
Yeah, and it's a matchup deal. I mean, people say, well, why don't you go small ball all the time? Well, you have different matchups, and I think you mentioned in your post game with the rest of the media about Baylor when you played Baylor in the Final Four. They had that high-low and 2 bigs, and that was a problem.
It was a problem. Yeah, every game. That's why I think we can be a dangerous team, because I think we can go different ways to be successful. We can go big if we want, and then we've shown that now we can go a little bit smaller. So it gives us options. It just worked out with both of these teams because they both just play kind of one center. Stanford. Interesting. Stanford ended up matching up more to us than we did to them. I think they were having some problems in some ways. So, it's just going to be game to game. And I like as a coach to have options.
And you mentioned the limited minutes. Tehina wasn't on a minute restriction other than conditioning yesterday, you said, but Niara is still on some. But it was good to see over the week, especially Stanford, where they played extended minutes. And what I was looking for going to practice, say, okay, how are they moving? What do they look like? And they looked like it didn't bother them at all. That they I'm sure they felt it a little bit, but.
Terry, I got a theory on that. Okay. These kids are 18 to 22-year-old. You tell me you can't play 40 minutes if they had to every game. They can't. You know what I mean? I think that's so overblown. Connecticut's done it for years. They'll play his main kids. He's notorious for that. Regardless of the score, they're playing a lot. But I know in Tehina's case and Niara's case, they haven't practiced a lot and they're not in full shape. But I always laugh at that kind of stuff. Oh, they're the day after, they've really played a lot. Okay.
Well, coming off an
whatever, right?
I'm just saying, coming off an injury, though. I mean,
you're nice. See, that's the thing. You're nice. I'm not. I don't want that. Oh, well, I played a lot last night. Okay. All right, today's a new day. You just rested and you had a couple of meals and you're good to go. You're 18 years old. Think of what we were doing, big guy, at 18.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah, if you didn't have a game, you'd be out playing anyway.
Yes. That's the other, right? We played all day long. I don't want to get off on a rant here, but no, seriously. See, my son, who, I think everybody knows, plays at Gonzaga. Same thing. When he goes for a workout, it's like, you didn't even sweat. You call that a workout? They don't just go play like we did. Just play.
Yeah.
Just play all day. You can play. They get 2 runs in. 2 games to 15, they're done. And they get a few shots, and that's what they consider that a workout. It's like, whoa, this is so different now.
Yeah. Well, there's phones too. There's all the.
Well, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with everything, but I'm just talking in terms of just. It's just different. We can play. We used to be able to play all day. Now it's all structured.
All right. we got some news here today. That of course this is Monday, but it will air on Tuesday, of course. But Arizona State game off.
Just got word, a few minutes ago. It's disappointing. There is a silver lining to it. We were going to go Thursday, Saturday, Monday. Right. The Arizonas plus UConn. So at least now we just have the 2 games. I mean, that was going to be really taxing because of the student athlete now, and then you can't play all those games. Wait, we already did that. Let's move on. So, I think that's the silver lining. Unfortunately, it's disappointing because, are we going to be able to make – they've mandated that we make up games, but is this going to be one we're going to get back? I feel for our fans. Yes. We haven't had a home Pac-12 game yet. We're 0 for 3, and it's unfortunate because we're one of the few places where we actually have a fan base. People come to our games, and so I'm disappointed for them.
Pac-12 has a plan now, making up some of the postponements.
They do on the weeks where you're not playing a Thursday, Saturday because of TV and stuff. They are making teams make up games on Wednesdays. So
in
my guess,
in a couple weeks it'll start. It sounds
in a couple weeks, yeah. So my guess is maybe that LA weekend when we're at home in a couple weeks, we'll have a Wednesday home game as well, either Arizona State, Colorado, or Utah. That's my guess. I don't know.
Right.
I think there's some rules in place. The teams that are on the bubble, they're going to try and get them extra games. Teams that obviously have missed a lot of games. See, we've only missed 2. Oregon State's missed 4. They haven't played yet. So, they might prioritize them. I don't know. But my guess is we'll get a couple of those games back at some point.
Well, it's nice. That sounds better than last year where really nothing happened.
There was there was no direction from the conference.
Yeah.
They hoped that we would make them up at the end of the season, and no one wanted to.
All right. Finish with this. Going to talk with Kylie Watson here in a few minutes. Didn't get a chance to talk to her last year. Ran out of shows, and I said, I got to get you on. So I look forward to talking to her. But Kylie, one of the hardest working players I've ever seen. Yeah,
she's just she's one of my favorites. I think she's a fan favorite because of that. I think, people appreciate people that just really work hard, and she does. She got to just keep getting better skill-wise and things like that. But you can never question her effort or her heart. She's a great teammate, brilliant student. I mean, her grade point average doubled ours. She is just, she's really the whole package in terms of just a great teammate and a program person. Got a great personality. I don't know if you were on TikTok. You're not on TikTok. Never mind.
No, but I get. Well,
are you a little bit?
Take a peek once in a while.
She did an impression of Sydney Parrish getting ready on a date or for a date or something. It's just classic. I mean, she's got a great personality. Her and Tahina are, like TikTok superstars. You saw them last night in the airport dancing, and people are looking at them as they go by. But she has a lot of fun, and I just I think the world of her.
Yeah. Well, that's we'll wrap it up there. That's a good way to end it. So what do you got to do now? You have anything to do? There's no game, so you're just going to relax now?
Yeah, well, we are. You know what? We are going to give the team's going to come in today and run, lift, and shoot. Today, Monday. Tuesday is our normal day off, and then we'll have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to prepare for Arizona. We'll only have one day in between to prepare for UConn, but those are 2 really important games. How often do you play 2 of the Final 4 teams in back-to-back games, from the year before, and then throw Stanford in last week, and we got 3 of the 4 Final 4 teams from a year ago within like an 8 or a 9 day span.
You had South Carolina in the Bahamas,
and we had that.
Yeah, so you had all of them.
We will have played all. We believe in playing the best, don't we?
That's right. It's a pretty good schedule, I would say.
Let's go.
Absolutely. All right, buddy. Hey, thanks for the visit.
Thank you.
There you go, our Toyota Kelly Graves interview. He's always fun.
Always. Always. And now we're going to hear from a TikTok star.
Yeah, the TikTok star, one of them. Anyway, Kylie Watson coming up next here on Tip-Off Tuesday. After this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Once a duck, always a duck. That's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has been the credit union serving the University of Oregon community. From the bright yellow duck debit card to the duck Visa rewards card. If you're a duck, you belong at OCCU, where you'll find fewer fees, higher savings rates, and lower rates on loans, and lots of fellow duck fans. Go Ducks. Join OCCU. Learn more at myoccu.org/Go Ducks.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
You're listening to Ducks basketball on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey, welcome back. Terry Jonz and Joey Mack, Tip-Off Tuesday, as we continue talking some women's basketball. Like to have a player each week if we can and let you get to know them a little bit. And this week it's Kylie Watson. All right, Kylie, let's talk about New Jersey. What's it, Linwood, New Jersey like? I've never been there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different than Oregon. I think New Jersey as a whole is a lot different than Oregon. But it's just a small town that I grew up in my whole life. It's really close to the beach, which is really nice in the summer. Everyone's super supportive there because our town's probably like 3 miles long at most. So my high school was 3 towns combined because it was so little. But everyone was really supportive, and it kind of really had that family community there that the small towns have.
Yeah, I saw a flyover in a video, and can you see off? Is Atlantic City? Is that what you can see from your city?
Yeah, it's right across the bay. So like our area has like a bunch of creeks and like we call it a creek, but it's really like the back bays. And then if you go over the bridge, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you'll hit Atlantic City, Ocean City, all those islands.
So what is there to do there? Anything? It's like the East Coast Vegas, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't do anything yet over there. I'm sure once I get older I can, but they have like the casinos and I think sports betting now and some clubs, some stuff like that.
And lots of great food, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. If you ever come to New Jersey, you need to try the bagels and the pizza.
The bagels and the pizza. All right, I got to remember that. I'm writing that down.
But, not the healthiest food, but it's pretty good.
You got it. Once out of 3 days you can have it there, something like that. Hey, tell us about your family. I know your dad, was in the NFL, a football coach, and your mom was a basketball player and coached you as well.
Yeah. So my dad, he grew up playing football in high school, and then he went to the NFL, and he had a career-ending injury, which was sad. But my mom also played college basketball. She played at Delaware. She grew up playing basketball her entire life. And then she was my assistant coach in high school. She was the freshman coach though. So she kind of just like sat on the bench, didn't really do much for us too much. And then my dad was the head coach of a high school football team up until last year, and now he helps out at where my brother plays high school football now because he had coached at a different school. And then I have two younger brothers. I have one that's 16 and one that's 10, so a little guy down there, but they both play football. The youngest one kind of plays football, basketball, so kind of figuring out what he likes the most, but they're awesome. They're really supportive. They're actually coming out here this week, so I'm excited to see them.
Oh, well, great. So how'd you get started in basketball? With mom, you got started, you wanted to, you played other sports too, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up, I feel like any other kid, kind of just trying out a bunch of different sports. Played soccer up until like maybe middle school, and then I tried volleyball. Wasn't the biggest fan of it my 8th grade year. But I pretty much definitely did not have a choice. I was definitely going to play some sort of sport, with both my parents being athletes. And I was really tall too. My dad's 6'4", my mom's 6 foot. So it kind of just happened to be basketball. And then I did fall in love with the game. And it was really fun. Ever since I was little, they kind of just put a ball in my hands and said, go ahead. But my dad's kind of doing the same thing to my brothers, but with football.
Yeah, he got good practice with you, obviously. Who you room with? You got roommates that are teammates?
I do. So I room with Maddie and Sydney. And then our 4th roommate is actually my cousin who was on the acro and tumbling team here last year.
Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I remember that. So, who cooks? Who of you guys cook? I know you guys get a lot of meals that you can go get, but you like to cook something up, right?
Yeah, I would say we definitely do not cook that much, if we're being honest. But probably Maddie would cook the most. I don't know if you would want to see me and Sydney in the kitchen. It might be a little scary. But hey, give us some instructions and some focus, and we might be able to do an okay job, but Maddie for sure.
So who's there's always, it's always like kind of odd couple, but there's 4 of you. But, somebody's neat, somebody's not so neat. So who's the neat ones, who's not so neat?
Maddie's definitely the most organized for sure. Like, her room's always perfect. She needs to have everything lined up, everything clean, everything like that. And then, honestly, the other 3 of us, it depends on the day.
You get the fake apartment, right, or the fake house when visitors come over or parents come, right?
Yeah, looks spotless. Then all of us are the best at keeping it clean.
That's right. Free time. I know you guys do TikToks. You were entertaining us in the Oakland airport yesterday. You and Tahina and some others. I think I saw Niara. Who else was over there? But is that what you guys do in your free time? Is it TikToks? Besides studying, of course. It's not free time though.
Yes. Aside from school, obviously. Yeah, I guess we probably do TikToks a decent amount. We try and learn some dances. At least me and Tahina do a lot. But honestly, just like chilling and sleeping or watching Netflix. We spend a lot, like me and my roommate spend a lot of time just in our living room watching a show. We always try to have like some sort of show that we're invested in whenever we get back from practice and stuff. So just kind of laying low because we are usually either in the gym or at school most of the time.
I wanted to talk about your Team USA experience. When you were younger, you played on, I think, U16, if I'm not sure, something like that, won a gold medal, but you played on the 3-on-3 this year over in France. Talk about that experience.
Yeah, it was 2 very different experiences for sure. I think the national team the 3-on-3 was serious, but it's mostly on you guys. Like, there's no coach or anything, so it was a lot of just playing, and it's a whole different ball game with the 3x32. But it was really cool meeting. I was able to interact with a lot of the other countries more as well, so that was cool. Like, on the last day, I got to meet people from the Netherlands, from Israel, so that was a really cool experience. And then U16, we were also pretty young, so I think we didn't have as much freedom to kind of see. We went to Buenos Aires, so to see that area a little bit, but it was really fun. I met a lot of great people. I played with some amazing players that are killing it now in college. So both experiences were really awesome from a basketball and a social side. It was a really cool thing.
Pretty cool to wear a uniform with USA across the chest, isn't it?
Absolutely. It was awesome. It was an honor.
Picking Oregon, a couple of years ago, big recruiting class, and you guys all had choices. You were all McDonald's All-Americans, 5-star recruits. What was it about the Ducks that drew you here?
I think just the family culture, and I know everyone always says that when they commit, but like when I came here, you kind of just get that feeling, and I felt like I really fit in with the girls and the girls that they recruited, and the coaching staff really cared about you, and it really seemed like some place, even though it was probably the furthest place from home, it felt the most like home to me. Just seeing the way that they all interacted with each other was something really special. And then this year especially, like all the girls on the team, it's been awesome, and I definitely don't regret it at all. Like I love all these girls, love all the coaches, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's the Cal game yesterday. Here's we're talking with you on Monday. This will air on Tuesday. But the Cal game, that just how much confidence, I guess, did that give the team?
Yeah, I think that was awesome for us because that's a good Cal team. I mean, if you break it down, they have a lot of great players on their team, and I think we definitely needed to hit some shots like that. I mean, Sydney shot the ball really well. T shot the ball really well. All of our guards shot the ball really, really well. So it was just good to kind of get that flow, especially coming into a really big week that we're having coming up with Arizona and UConn. So it was a great momentum pusher for us. So we hope to just kind of build off that and keep playing really well.
Well, Cal, I got Cal in my head. Kylie, we could talk to you for a long time here, but we're out of time. Hey, thanks for letting us get to know you, and look forward to seeing your parents out here this week. That ought to be great, and your family, and be good for you to see them as well. But keep working hard. You're a fan favorite. Fans love players who play hard, and you play hard.
Oh, thank you.
All right, there you go, Kylie Watson. What a great kid, and but she does play hard.
She
and
does.
At 6'4", playing hard, great athlete from an athletic family.
Fun to see.
Want to talk men's basketball?
I do.
Okay.
Kevin McKenna and I got the chance to catch up actually earlier today. Man, the Ducks, I'm laughing because it was such an incredible game last night.
It was. Oregon
and Oregon State, anytime you get to beat the Beavs in Gill Coliseum, Terry knows that feeling I'm talking about. That's a good feeling.
It's the best walk out to the car.
It really is. It really is. Ducks with a 2-point win on the floor at Gill last night. We're going to talk to assistant coach Kevin McKenna coming up. It's Tip-Off Tuesday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear winter, you can't stop a new 2022 Toyota. No matter the weather, the Camry all-wheel drive comes out to play. Snowy hills don't stand a chance against the RAV4, and everyone's comfy in the Highlander. See you in the snow. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Dear winter, you can't stop a new 2022 Toyota. No matter the weather, the Camry all-wheel drive comes out to play. Snowy hills don't stand a chance against the RAV4, and everyone's comfy in the Highlander. See you in the snow. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
You're listening to Tip-Off Tuesday on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too. Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and experiences connect through conversation, and it feels good.
This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too. Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together. Start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/one small step. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
We're back in the Country Financial Studio. It is Tip-Off Tuesday. He's Terry Jonz. I'm Joey Mack. Earlier today, got a chance to talk with Kevin McKenna. A busy week for the Ducks, beating Oregon State last night at Gill Coliseum. That meant that the week in preparation for UCLA, a little bit shorter, as the Ducks will get ready to travel to Los Angeles tomorrow if you're live with us here on Tuesday, and take on the Bruins of UCLA with a 6:30 tip-off on Thursday. Talking with Oregon men's basketball assistant coach Kevin McKenna. First time this year that we've had the opportunity to talk with Kevin McKenna, Oregon men's basketball assistant coach. And, Coach, you and I were talking before we press record here this morning that it's good to be having these conversations after a win. 48 hours later than originally scheduled, but we're able to make the trip to Corvallis. You guys came away with the victory. What'd you think last night?
I thought we competed pretty well. We had our ups and downs during the course of the game, but at the end of the day, we were pretty connected in the huddles. The guys were talking. The guys were into it. The guys on the bench were great. Overall, anytime you can get a win on the road, it's a good thing. So our guys walked out of there pretty happy with what they accomplished.
What can it do for your squad now that you guys have been on the winning side of one of these close games, Coach? Because the first two losses in Pac-12 play by a combined 5 points. Then you win this one by 2 points. Had to feel nice to win a close one.
Yeah, we needed it. It's winning games. Just you gain confidence from it, and winning close games in particular. Obviously, if we could have made some free throws and eliminated a couple of easy baskets that we gave up, would have made it a little bit easier at the end. But sometimes you get some breaks at the end, and sometimes you don't. Obviously, those two conference losses early in the year are still stinging a little bit, but. It was good, again, to beat your in-state rival for sure.
Eric Williams, I thought, stepped up in a big way, Coach. Just what can he do for your squad if he's playing like that and hitting a big three like he did to break that 74-74 tie late?
Well, not only the three, he had 11 rebounds. He was active. He was engaged. It was, to me, it was the old Eric, just playing hard, having fun, just being an athlete out there. And he's a good athlete when he applies it, and he can really make a difference for us. And we expect that from him. He's a senior. He's been around. He knows what Coach wants. He knows what we want, and he's a really good player. And I just hope he can keep building on that and gain some confidence from it, and have his teammates gain some confidence in him. We're still getting to know each other. We're 15 games in, but that's all the games that a lot of these guys have played with each other.
Coach, that's what I was kind of thinking, like, as you're talking about confidence and gaining confidence from late wins, gaining confidence for guys like Eric Williams. I mean, is that kind of the chemistry that we're talking about here as you guys do kind of continue to get to know each other?
For sure. Earlier in the season, when Davion made the last three that Eric hit, when Davion would penetrate, a lot of times our guys were just standing and watching him penetrate. This time, Eric went all the way from the low block baseline to the top, and his man just kind of temporarily gave help, temporarily lost him, and just gave him that little bit of separation to get that shot off. In games past earlier in the year, we would just stand and watch him drive. And now we're starting to move a little bit. We're starting to understand each other's games a little bit better. And we're seeing some better opportunities to score.
Will Richardson, I wanted to ask you about a guy who I think was asked to be a leader this year, and rightfully so, because he's the most veteran guy in an Oregon uniform. And, Coach, he just played in his 100th Oregon game last night. You don't see that around college basketball near as much as we used to, but that's pretty impressive. Will Richardson's career and still a lot in front of him this season.
Yeah, he's been bothered a little bit by some injuries and again, just lack of playing with some of the guys we're playing with. Will knows what's going on out there defensively, offensively. He knows the offense really well. He knows our defenses, and he's helping guys out, telling them where to be. He's he had a good game last night, and coming off the pause that we had, was pretty proud of his effort for sure.
It's interesting. People like me, Coach, I look at a lot of the metrics like you guys do, and team is 6-0 when Will Richardson scores 17 points. I mean, just is that a number where it's just, man, if he's scoring at that high of a clip, you guys are just tough to beat?
My thing with Will is I encourage him to be aggressive. I know, there's a couple times last night, Will's shooting the ball really well off the dribble, even threes when guys go under that screen. And he passed up a couple opportunities, and I pulled him aside during a timeout. I said, "Hey, Will, you got to let that go. If that guy goes under," he goes, "Yeah, the one." He goes, "I just didn't have the ball right in my hands." I said, "I get it." I said, "But look for that. If they start going under those things, I want you to let it go. He's 40-some% three-point shooter. We need him to be aggressive looking for threes."
Will Richardson, as a sophomore, led the Pac-12 in three-point field goal percentage, and yeah, I mean. He's been really, really great from three. But I feel like, Coach, I mean, how much of that is because he's selective? I've had this conversation with Coach Altman in the past. It seems like Will Richardson is one of those selective shooters that you probably like as a coach.
Yeah, he is. I'd like him to be a little more aggressive. I think he passes some up here and there. I just tell him, I said, "Will, we might not get a better shot than the one you're getting on a kickout pass or something. So you got to have your feet ready and be ready to shoot." Will's worked extremely hard on his threes. He's put a lot of time into developing that as his career's gone on. And again, I'm proud of the way he's been handling it and becoming a leader.
Sticking with the guards, Jacob Young, after last night's performance, Ducks are 6-1 when Jacob Young scores 10 or more points. I bring up these metrics, Coach, but of course, if your guards are scoring at a high clip, you guys are going to be tough to beat. But Jacob Young, I feel like a lot of times it's fueled by his defense. We've seen that in the second half, particularly against Utah. I thought we saw that a little bit last night. How much does Jacob's defense lead to his offense?
It does a lot, and Jacob's one of the fastest guys out there in all of college basketball, in my opinion. He's really fast with the ball, and in the open court, he can get by people and get to the rim and sneak us an easy basket. I've always been a believer in the team that gets the most easy baskets usually wins, and he snuck us a couple last night. We got a nice lob play against their zone in the second half, an easy basket that, in a tight game, those things really come into play.
Positivity building that offensive momentum. We're going to continue with Kevin McKenna. It's Tip-Off Tuesday in the Country Financial Studio. Oregon men's basketball assistant coach. How about a scouting report on UCLA and USC, 2 top 5 teams on the schedule for the Ducks? That's coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Once a Duck, always a Duck. That's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has been the credit union serving the University of Oregon community. From the bright yellow Duck debit card to the Duck Visa Rewards card. If you're a Duck, you belong at OCCU, where you'll find fewer fees, higher savings rates, and lower rates on loans, and lots of fellow Duck fans. Go Ducks. Join OCCU. Learn more at myoccu.org/Go Ducks.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With 15 convenient locations across Portland, contact Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists today at proactivepts.com to see a physical therapist. Proactive Physical Therapy Specialists, a proud partner of Oregon Athletics and trusted choice for keeping Duck fans in the game.
You're listening to Oregon Basketball from Learfield.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. You out-salesmaned the salesman. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll have the info you need to get more for your future. Go to aceyourretirement.org, because when it comes to speeding past financial challenges, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can STEM, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Or clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can STEM, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Tip-Off Tuesday. We're in the Country Financial Studio. I'm Joey Mack along with Terry Jonz, continuing our conversation with Kevin McKenna as the Ducks get ready for a 6:30 matchup on Thursday at Pauley. That's a fun place to play. But the Bruins are pretty good. Get the scouting report from Kevin McKenna as we continue our conversation with the assistant coach for the Ducks.
5 different players in double figures. You had 2 players with double-doubles last night. Was last night the best example we've seen so far of kind of the way that you guys can spread the wealth offensively?
Yeah, I think it shows the balance of our team. I think it shows that different guys can step up in different situations and different nights. And again, we just got to believe in each other. And, our motto, sometimes you, sometimes me, always us, kind of comes into play a lot with this group. And a lot of guys, that we got 5 or 6 guys that are capable of going for 20 in a night. And sometimes it's going to be somebody's night. And, last night Eric had a good game. Dante had a good game. I mean, inside, Dante, when he wasn't getting it, flicked from him and stolen on a couple of times, made some really good plays inside. But for the most part, we do have a good balanced team, and we just got to keep working.
Positivity on offense. How about defense, Coach? What's the next step defensively for this team?
Again, eliminating some easy baskets. At the end of the game there, we had a major breakdown there and gave up that open layup that they missed. But fighting the dribble a little harder, being a little better position off the ball, just taking away some gaps to drive, just little things that add up to easy scoring opportunities for our opponents. We've got to figure out a way to just eliminate 2 or 3 easy ones a game and not put guys, good free throw shooters on the line as well. Those are things that are really been hurting us.
Talking about some of the easy buckets, Coach, baseline out of bounds defense, I felt like there were a few buckets that the Beavers had that you guys maybe would like back after you looked at them on film. But what's the key to getting better at some of that defense?
Well, I think, we've got to, we're going to spend some time on that these next couple of days, because obviously teams are going to see that and say, oh, we can do this. They got an easy one. They got an easy one here. We've just got to understand our coverages better and move a little bit more. Seems like we're not moving until the ball is inbounded instead of moving as the pass is coming in. And it's costing us some, they're getting some easy baskets. They got an easy corner 3. They got some other stuff inside. They just kind of pushed us around in there. And we've got to hold our ground better and do a better job of position defense and understanding where your areas are in our zone.
Trip to Los Angeles. What does it do for you guys as a coaching staff and scouting and preparing, having that pause that kind of interrupts everything, and then playing a game on a Monday? It's a little bit of an odd schedule, Coach. Let fans inside kind of the preparation process. How does things change with a little tighter preparation window now for a Thursday tip-off?
Well, last week I was able to catch up on UCLA, so I'm kind of ready already for them. I've been watching them a little bit more this morning with the Cal game and that, but it is what it is. The players, I don't think it affects them at all. They love to play in the games and obviously playing 2 really good opponents on the road. If you can't get fired up for that, you might as well just go home and not play this game. I think our guys will be excited and look forward to the challenge of playing 2 really good teams on the road.
Thursday at 6:30, 6 o'clock pregame show here on the Oregon Sports Network. ESPN's going to be in town. K-Mac, the rumor is that it's going to be Dave Pasch and Bill Walton. But would you have it any other way when Oregon plays UCLA these days?
Oh, that's always a good thing to have Bill around. Dave's a great guy, too. Those guys do a good job. They ham it up pretty good and have a good time. And I like listening to him. Bill's from my era playing and that, and I've known him for a long time. And gets a little goofy out there sometimes, but in a good way. I think he's a smart guy, and he loves college basketball, and he's awesome to our players. I can't say enough good things about him, the way he treats our guys. Yeah. And I always have to remind our guys, hey, guy, I point to him all the time when he's at our shoot-arounds. I said, see that guy over there? He's arguably the best college basketball player of all time. And they look at me like I'm nuts. I'm like, no, I'm serious. He was phenomenal when he was in college, and he was a great pro as well till he got those injuries.
No doubt. And, man, I every time I get the chance to catch up with Bill Walton, it's always a great time. K-Mac, I've said this before. If the world as a whole was half as curious as Bill Walton, we would all be in a much better world, don't you think?
Yeah, we'd be on another planet, too, I think, sometimes. But that's a whole nother story. Bill's awesome. He's a well-rounded person, culturally, musically, all the stuff that he's got going in his life is And he's just a positive guy. I like being around him because he brings out the best in people, and he's always got time for people. That's another quality that he has that a lot of guys don't really pay attention to, but it's important to him, you can tell.
Yeah, man, I agree. Kevin McKenna, a few more minutes with the assistant coach here for the Ducks. What's the scouting report on UCLA as you break them down for that Thursday tip-off? And then if we could look ahead a little bit, the 8 o'clock tip on Saturday, what's the report on USC this year, Coach?
Well, UCLA got everybody back from last year, and they've added a couple guys. They're playing really well. They're connected. They went on that run last year. They were, third or fourth best team in our league, made to the Final Four, and on the ropes in the Pac-12 tournament, on the ropes in the NCAA tournament in the play-in game, and they just gained a lot of confidence from the run that they had last year, and they got a good point guard who's improved his game. All their guys are better this year than they were last year, and statistically, and you can just tell that they're well coached. They're going to be a tough out. And obviously USC, we had problems with them last year, and a big part of that was Evan Mobley, obviously, but they have a lot of guys back too, and a good core of guys that have played really well. And they've added a couple of new guys. Point guard Boogie Ellis is a really good player. So and Evan's brother Isaiah is back and having a better year. So 2 tough games this weekend. Again, like I said, I hope our guys are up for the challenge.
I'm looking forward to it. Kevin McKenna, Oregon assistant coach. Coach, thanks so much for always taking the time. I can't thank you enough for your insight and we're having a little bit of fun talking about Bill Walton. Anytime we get a chance to do that, it's a good day. Thanks, Coach, and hey, we'll see you on the tarmac tomorrow, huh?
Got it. See you, Joey.
Kevin McKenna, Oregon men's basketball assistant coach. We got a chance to catch up with him, and there's the show. Number 2 in the books, Terry.
That's it?
That was it.
Okay. We did it.
Kylie Watson.
Thank you.
Kelly Graves.
Yeah.
Kevin McKenna. It's a busy week for.
We're lucky though. We get to talk to people like
Absolutely.
that. They're great people.
You know,
you guys see them just in the interview, but they're great people.
We're paid fans.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly it.
And I think you and I are similar. As interviewers, we are basically just naturally curious individuals that get to ask questions.
Yeah.
And then listen to
who
smarter.
Are they?
Yeah, and then listen to smarter people than us talk about sports.
Yeah. I mean, I want to know who they are, what makes them tick, where'd they come from, all that.
I'm in.
And that's what fans like. And we're fans.
No doubt about it. Schedule for the week, real quick.
2:30, it is Arizona at MKA. And
Saturday.
Monday. Yeah, what did I say? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. And then Monday, UConn at 2 p.m. Right?
That's right.
I got
6:30
right.
Thursday
Okay.
for the men at UCLA, 8 o'clock Saturday at USC. See ya.
Dear winter, you can't stop a new 2022 Toyota. No matter the weather, the Camry all-wheel drive comes out to play. Snowy hills don't stand a chance against the RAV4, and everyone's comfy in the Highlander. See you in the snow. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Once a duck, always a duck. That's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has been the credit union serving the University of Oregon community. From the bright yellow duck debit card to